It's rare to find someone who doesn't love chocolate. But there's something about one of our favorite treats you may not know. Its key ingredient comes from places that don't always benefit from our obsession. Seth Doan has a report that's bittersweet.
Your house is here.
Just here. Work is here.
Kim Addison is on a culinary and cultural mission of sorts to change our perception of chocolate.
When we think of chocolate, we think, Switzerland, Belgium, or France, but never Ghana, never Cote d'Ivoire, and those are the two largest producers of cocoa in the world. So how is it that we're not known for our chocolate?
She's trying to change that, with 15 employees working from this modest space in the African nation of Ghana.
What was this building before it was a chocolate factory?
It was actually my parents' first house.
Kim and her sister Priscilla, Ghanaians who grew up in America and around the world, are part of a growing effort to keep some of the profits from the $100 billion chocolate industry here. They started their own company, 57 Chocolate.
57 Chocolate, it's short for 1957, which was Ghana's independence. But it's not just about Ghana being free from colonial rule. It's more about the spirit behind Ghana's independence. Hey, as Ghanaians, as Africans, we can do this.
As a businesswoman, she's motivated by some numbers that do not make sense to her. 2/3 of the world's cacao, the raw ingredient that's roasted and used to make chocolate, is grown in the African nations of Côte d'Ivoire or Ivory Coast and Ghana. Yet Africa produces just 1% of the world's chocolate. The biggest chocolate makers are in the US and Europe, which is where most of the money goes to. Chocolate's story is certainly not all sweet. There are continuing issues of trafficking children to work on plantations for little or no pay, an issue that touches even US consumers. A new lawsuit alleges Customs and Border Protection ignored evidence that child labor was involved in harvesting cocoa for major U.S. candy makers. The agency told us it cannot comment on pending litigation. Today, the Department of Labor estimates that 1.5 million children still work illegally on cocoa plantations. We visited cocoa country to see where the problems start and to understand some possible solutions. Evans Kanubi cracks open the pods to extract the sweet, slimy bean, which at this stage has a flavor like lychee fruit.
And it tastes good.
I saw you eating a few of them earlier.
While there are perks, high pay is not among them.
Do you feel like you make enough money to have a decent living?
No.
The average cocoa farmer in Ghana earns less than $2 a day, and it's labor-intensive work. Once the cocoa is collected, it's left to ferment under banana leaves for about 7 days, then is laid out in the sun to dry. Stephen Ashia has been farming cocoa for 14 years and says he barely breaks even.
At the end, you'll buy chocolate bars?
No, but mostly I don't buy chocolates. The money we have, it will better I use it to buy heavy foods rather than buy chocolate that cannot fill my belly to come and work.
You don't make enough money to afford chocolate.
Yeah.
That's a bitter reality Dutch chocolate maker Tony's Chocolonely is confronting.
Nobody needs chocolate. And to me, it's really unacceptable that in something that's a luxury, that's a gift, that people accept that there's extreme poverty at the beginning of that supply chain.
Paul Schoenmakers led sustainability programs for Tony's Chocolonely until last month. The company's name nods to its lonely place in this fight against exploitation.
The two main problems are illegal labor and massive deforestation, and both of them are driven by poverty. What our program aims to do is help farmers enable earn a living income, and with that we take away the root cause of the issues in cocoa.
They took us to see schools they help support, a common way many big chocolate companies claim to be giving back. But Schoenmakers underlined that this, what he called charity, is not enough. Boosting real incomes is essential. He says the price most chocolate companies are paying for raw cocoa here, a price set by the government, is too low compared to what farmers need to live.
We calculate how big the gap is between the government set price and the living income price, and we pay that gap as an extra premium.
For the spring harvest, the premium was about $63 higher than what's set by the government, meaning Tony's paid almost double for each bag of beans. Tony's also implemented a tracing system to follow the beans through their supply chain. Tifolis Abaka monitors this step.
So knowing that you'll be held responsible for whatever happens to your beans, it will help you to do the right thing.
Can you calculate how many chocolate bars you can make from a bag like this of cocoa?
Yeah, that's a good question. It really depends on the type of chocolate. So a dark chocolate bar would contain more cocoa than a milk chocolate bar. But on average, a Tony's bar, 300 to 500 bars from one bag.
300 to 500 bars.
But farmers were getting just $80 for each of these bags of cocoa.
We're almost doubling that, and it's still only a small fraction of the retail price. There's no chocolate company will go bankrupt on that, but it will mean the whole world of a difference for cocoa farmers.
After it is fully dry, the flavor will come.
You start smelling the chocolate.
Yeah.
We met Gifty Narki drying cocoa beans for one of the farmer cooperatives selling to Tony's.
My parents were doing.
How about your grandparents?
They too.
Wow.
Yeah.
How about their parents?
They too.
So your great-great-parents, your grandparents,
They are all
your parents,
cocoa farmers.
all cocoa farmers,
Yeah.
and now you.
Yes.
She told us she used some of the extra money Tony's pays to make a capital investment. She needs a second job.
At first, I don't have machine to sew, but now I have got some machine to sew.
Because you got extra money.
Yes.
And from Tony's?
Yes.
Working through these cooperatives, Tony's tries to build the relationships needed to identify and root out problems.
Right on the bar it says, "We exist to end modern slavery and illegal child labor in the chocolate industry." It's a goal, but not a guarantee.
We cannot do this on our own. We have to develop a model that is replicable and scalable, so all other chocolate companies can do the same as we do.
But if I buy this piece of chocolate, can you guarantee that there's not child labor involved?
So if you buy chocolate from Tony Chocolonely, then you know that we search for child labor.
Search, but can't promise that it's not part of the chain somewhere.
And we find child labor. We're also transparent about the child labor cases that we find, but it's good that we find it because that's a start of solving it.
Next season, the Ghanaian government is raising the price of cocoa as part of an effort to combat smuggling, illegal gold mining on cocoa plantations, and, of course, child labor. At 57 Chocolate, Kimberly Addison is trying her own way to keep more profits in Ghana through controlling the production of chocolate.
Shouldn't we be adding value to that cocoa in country, consuming it in country, and then also making it available globally?
But there are challenges you'd probably never think of in this cocoa-producing country. There's the melting heat, inconsistent electricity, and problems finding raw materials like sugar and milk. Still, Addison joins a handful of other small companies working to cultivate and profit from the growing taste for chocolate here. The prominent black leaders and Ghanaian independence figures featured on their bars are a reminder of the spirit and potential of this place.
There's so much value here on the continent. Where there are problems, there are huge opportunities. And what we're doing at 57 is we've seen a problem with something as small as the cocoa bean, and we've turned it into an opportunity.
Faith Salie has a Valentine's Day treat that couldn't be any sweeter.
This time of year, freezing temperatures are nothing unusual in northern Michigan. But there's one kitchen that knows a recipe for keeping warm. Original Murdoch's Fudge has been in operation since 1887, when it first opened its doors on Michigan's Mackinac Island.
Fudge is kind of king in Michigan.
Bob Benzer is now the owner.
I put a little piece of fudge sometimes in my coffee in the morning. a little piece of double chocolate fudge. You get the sugar, the cream.
Genius.
So yeah, cafe mocha type flavor. Fudge is Mackinac Island, synonymous with Mackinac Island.
Mackinac Island, between Michigan's upper and lower peninsulas, is the self-proclaimed fudge capital of America. The car-free oasis has more than a dozen fudge shops. During the summer, fudge-loving tourists, affectionately called fudgies, flood the island. To meet the demand, each shop can make up to 500 pounds a day. But even when temperatures and tourism cool, fudge remains a hot item.
Fudge seems like a natural fit for Valentine's Day.
We all love chocolates at Valentine's Day, right?
Yeah.
So why wouldn't you like fudge?
That appetite for fudge dates back more than a century.
Pour into grease pans and mark off into squares. So definitely sounds like fudge.
Joyce White is a food historian. We met her at the Maryland Center for History and Culture in Baltimore.
Fudge is actually based on a recipe for chocolate caramels, which was very, very similar. What probably happened is that there was someone in Baltimore messed it up, fadged it. Fadge is a word that means you messed up. I fadged it, or I fudged it.
Yeah.
Nowadays, we'd use a different F word to say that, right?
Yes, yes.
By 1888, that Baltimore recipe was passed along to a student at Vassar College, then all women, in Poughkeepsie, New York.
Women would make fudge in their dorm rooms, doing something against the rules in the late evenings, and trying to get away with something not condoned in the rule book.
At the same time, men at men's colleges were out carousing.
It was a woman's way of being rebellious. You know, cooking in the dorm at night.
Open flame, after hours.
Absolutely
not
breaking the
nutritious.
rules. Right, breaking every rule in a way that was still considered ladylike.
Ladylike, right.
Yeah.
Soon, so-called Vassar fudge ended up at other women's colleges, even making headlines around the country. Fast forward a century, and the recipe for fudge hasn't changed much. Sugar, milk, butter, and chocolate mixed, poured onto a marble slab, then worked until the mixture solidifies. Here at Original Murdoch's St. Ignace location, veteran fudge maker Carnell Samuels turns the 45-minute process into a 30-pound loaf of fudge.
Down and out, just grab it, so.
Scoop. All right, right here?
There you go. So push. Look at that.
You're a good teacher.
Making fudge is certainly harder than it looks, but if its history has taught us anything, it's that mistakes can be sweet, any way you slice it.
Seth Doan now with something sweet for Easter.
It pretty much always seems like Easter on this part of the line at Cadbury's chocolate factory in Bournville, England, where they churn out the cream egg.
We make about 1 million a day here in Bournville.
In a period leading up to Easter?
No, all throughout the year.
Easter is their biggest season, and the cream egg leads sales in this stretch. Adam Harris is a scientist for Cadbury.
You know, I'm probably giving away a little bit of an inside secret here, but the fondant is deposited in the chocolate, and then we put a small drop of the yolk in the centre, and then it's closed like a clam, and then wrapped in foil, and away they go.
But what goes to which shelf can differ.
Our chocolates are designed for the consumers in the countries that they are consumed in.
So I might have a Cadbury in the US that's different from what I'd have here?
It would be a slightly different flavour profile, the same as if you were to eat Cadbury's in India or Australia, because that's what the local consumer have grown up with.
So what are the Americans like that you wouldn't find here in the UK?
Typically, American chocolate is a bit sourer. It has sour milk in it, typically.
You're not really selling
no,
it.
No, I'm not.
Harris says when developing new products,
this is just a small selection of potential ingredients that you could add.
3 textures can be the magic number.
I would be drawn toward the pistachio and the coconut, but that's a strange combo. Yes.
Yeah, it might be for others, but you might like it.
Perhaps it's best left to the experts.
Bit more. So you want to make sure they're evenly distributed throughout your bar.
Adam Harris says it's not just about getting the ingredients right, but the ratio.
Got it.
I think that's not bad. I would have played with a little bit more nuts. I think it's got some lovely texture in there.
For all the focus on innovation, tradition rules at this company founded in 1824. Dairy milk has not changed much in a century.
I think it's 5 people in the whole of the world that know the recipe.
So you have it then. Marry the creamy milk from Shropshire with the cocoa from Ashanti.
Cadbury Dairy Milk, which is our biggest product, that was launched in 1905. That was the first bar of chocolate in the UK with fresh liquid milk in it. So this is our archive storeroom.
When a company is 2 centuries old, there are jobs like Sarah Foden's. She's Cadbury archivist.
It's invaluable to keep pieces of packaging, pieces of artwork, examples of advertising campaigns.
Do you go back to the archive to figure out something for today?
Yeah, we use them all the time. We use old recipes, we use lots of old advertising for inspiration. We open this up.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Foden took us into their vault to see examples of old packaging.
These dates, as you can see, from 1905.
And how styles, tastes, even ways of consuming chocolate have changed. Early on, people were mostly drinking it, like cocoa.
Eating chocolate came in a lot later, so first bar was sort of 1847. And really one of the reasons why John Cadbury set up the shop in the first place and started with cocoa was because he wanted to steer people away from alcohol.
This is a company with Quaker roots.
Yes, that's right. They strongly believed, no alcohol and temperance and that sort of thing.
So try some chocolate
Yeah.
instead.
Yeah.
In the hierarchy of sins, chocolate got a pass. John Cadbury started selling drinking chocolate in 1824. Then, with help from family, started making it, opening a factory in 1878 on the outskirts of Birmingham, England.
When they originally moved here, this was just farmland. There was nothing else here apart from the canal and the railway. And that was what made it such an ideal site, because they could use those for getting ingredients in, product out.
You surround the 80 acres of factory with 120 acres of gardens and playing fields.
They were not just inventing new products, but a new place, Bourneville.
They added the ville to make it sound more French?
That's right, yes. So
because the French were known for chocolate?
No, just because at the time everything French was considered to be better or best, so that was why they called it Bourneville.
Over the years, marketing strategies have shifted.
If you opened to this page and said, what are we trying to sell?
Yes, if you first looked at it, I know. No,
horses,
you wouldn't. Yeah, horses, dogs.
But Easter remains dependably on the chocolate marketing calendar.
See, you've got the plain egg, and then they're actually hand decorating them with all of the sugar icing flowers.
Wow.
Sarah Foden says from the early days, the company recognized the value of the seasonal bump in sales.
We did our first one in 1875, and that was just a plain egg filled with chocolates. Then over the years, they got more and more ornate.
Ornate may have given way to automated, but as this company faces modern business challenges,
press that and then it would have come out of the bottom.
Let the chocolate out.
Yeah.
It's finding value in looking back.
This is a cream egg mould.
To the classics.
This is the first cream egg that we launched in 1926.
And it's still selling in some form
Yep.
today.
Yep.
With Valentine's Day behind us, is it too late for chocolate? Not for our Faith Salie.
Back when I was a kid, we had 3 kinds of chocolate: milk, dark, and white. And if you're about to tell me that white chocolate isn't really chocolate because it doesn't contain cocoa solids, you are right. And you're also probably the person I need to talk to right now. Because chocolate, sweet chocolate, has gotten way too gentrified and stratified. I cannot keep up with the levels of chocolate. There's 38% cacao, 62%, 70%, 82.5%. You need to be a math major to keep up. It's like one of those 23andMe DNA tests, but with chocolate. Oh, what percentage are you? I discovered I'm 72% cacao. Someone recently informed me she eats only 100%, as if she were daring me to go to the dark side. 100% is 100% wrong. That's called baking chocolate. That's called punishment. Those of us who like the occasional 11% Hershey's, we will not be percentage shamed. We will not play identity politics with the shade of our bar or be judged by the chocolate company we keep. And if the cacao arms race isn't enough to make you, well, bitter, let's consider what innocent chocolate has become infused and sprinkled with these days. Pink Himalayan sea salt is the least of it. It's hard to find a bar of chocolate that doesn't contain turmeric or porcini mushrooms, even Pop Rocks. I mean, I'm not going to turn it down, but that kind of gilding the chocolate lily's so unnecessary, like putting makeup and sequins on a perfect little child. Look, I'll eat all kinds. You know when chocolate is past its prime, how it gets whitish? That's called a bloom. I'll take your bloom and chocolate. Remember Sam I Am, who will not eat green eggs and ham? I'm that dude's opposite when it comes to chocolate. I will eat it milk dark white. I will eat it day and night. Under 100%, I'll take a bite. We don't need bacon, cumin, and all that. Just give us cacao, sugar, and some fat. Here's the bittersweet truth. Sometimes we don't need to take it to the next level. Message delivered with a kiss.
Nutella gelato alone may be worth a trip to Florence. Seth Doan tells us Nutella is yet one more Italian contribution to the good life.
Hazelnuts sustain family businesses and star in recipes in the Piedmont region of Italy, where the rolling hills are covered with hazelnut trees. The climate here is perfect for them, Emanuele Canaparo told us.
These are your trees.
He has about 12,000, which produce the nuts they roast for their own chocolate hazelnut spread, a tradition here. Still, he says it's a much more famous version that paved the way for their success. Nutella is a product that made hazelnuts famous throughout the world, he said. In the 1940s, Italian pastry maker Pietro Ferrero created Nutella.
Nutella ice cream,
which is now so popular it sells in 160 countries. Fans gush about it. It's about the only thing on the menu in some cafes.
What is it that makes Nutella almost, well, addictive? The company that makes this stuff, Ferrero, wants to keep it a secret. They would not let us inside to shoot the process, and they declined a request for an interview.
They've had some bad press regarding the palm oil in their product and recently hazelnut suppliers in Turkey. At Canaparo's Nocciola d'Elite, they pack more hazelnuts into their spread, which means less sugar and no palm oil.
What percentage of hazelnuts is actually
it's
in there?
58%, and Nutella is around 13, I believe.
In the nearby tiny town of Cortamilia, the hazelnut is celebrated, and so is Giuseppe Cannobio.
Ha detto il re delle nocciole, the king of hazelnuts.
Sì, e questa è la casa delle nocciole.
And this is the house of hazelnuts.
Here, several generations of the Cannobio family work together, almost in awe of the nut. When I crack open hazelnuts, Giuseppe said, what goodness, the aroma.
Che profumo.
Va bene.
They showed us how to make their special hazelnut torte, which uses their own artisanal spread, more than half of it comprised of pure hazelnuts.
Tanto di cappello.
Hats off to Nutella, Giuseppe said.
Ha insegnato.
They taught this could become a job, daughter Paola added. The rich chocolate hazelnut creation has been a staple for generations of local cooks who are delighted to share this precious nut with the rest of the world.
Buonissimo.
Grazie.
Kitto Katto is more than the Japanese name for the candy we all know as Kit Kat. It's Japan's national obsession. Here's Mo Raka.
At a shop in Tokyo's bustling Ginza district, luxury Kit Kats are on full display. That's right, luxury Kit Kats. And the mastermind behind these $5 Kit Kat confections is pastry chef Yasumasa Takagi. In general, says Chef Takagi, the Japanese prefer mild flavors rather than aggressive flavors that hit you over the head. Takagi's concocted Kit Kats with flavors like matcha green tea, butter, and strawberry maple. Cedric LaCroix is Kit Kat's man in Japan.
How big is the Kit Kat in Japan?
Kit Kat is very, very big. We consume up to 5 million Kit Kats a day in Japan.
You might call its popularity a case of Kit Kat kismet. Kitto Katto, the Japanese pronunciation of Kit Kat, sounds an awful lot like Kitto Katsu, which in Japanese means you surely will win. Which explains why, for Japanese students during the high-pressure exam season, the Kitto Katto has become a kind of edible talisman.
When it was discovered that the name meant surely you will win,
yes,
then the company shrewdly decided to capitalize on that.
Absolutely, absolutely. And it became part of the company mission to play this lucky charm. So Kit Kat's mission in Japan is really to encourage people.
And to sell some not so mildly flavored Kit Kats to tourists. Anyone in the mood for a purple sweet potato Kit Kat? Or a bite of a refreshing apple Kit Kat?
Say a Kit Kat a day keeps the doctor away.
Or perhaps you'd like to spice things up with a wasabi Kit Kat. Hey buddy, go easy on that sake Kit Kat.
It really does taste like sake.
We appeal more and more to foreigners because they have read on Facebook or social media that the Japanese Kit Kat was fantastic. So when they come here, they want to taste.
Kit Kat diplomacy. Bring them right.
United color of Kit Kat.
Back in his patisserie, Chef Takagi indulged me as we went about creating a new premium Kit Kat.
Raspberry, pistachio, strawberry.
I know it sounds crazy, but could we mix the pistachio with the raspberry?
Shall we give that a try?
Yes.
The color will probably be ghastly, but it smells good, doesn't it?
Pistachio.
Oh, the color is awful, isn't it? Try a taste.
It's very good.
Very good?
It's very good. Try it.
Very good. Oishii.
Oishii.
Oishii. That means delicious. Behold, the Raspacio Kit Kat.
I believe I have passed my exam.
Kitto kachimasu.
Kitto Katsu. I got a Kitto Katsu.
And now, a page from our Sunday Morning Almanac, September 13th, 1857. 158 years ago today. For chocolate lovers, one of the sweetest of dates on the calendar. For that was the day Milton Hershey was born in Derry Township, Pennsylvania. Apprenticed to a candy maker at a young age, Hershey eventually went into business for himself, and after a few setbacks created a successful caramel company. Following a visit to a chocolate exhibit at the Chicago World's Fair in 1893, Hershey shifted gears and went into chocolate, big time. He created the Hershey Bar and the Hershey Kiss, chocolates that have soothed many a sweet tooth over the years.
There's nothing like the face of a kid eating a Hershey bar.
For the home of his namesake company, Milton Hershey built a namesake town, Hershey, Pennsylvania, featuring everything from low-cost housing for his workers to street lamps in the shape of Hershey Kisses. And that's not all.
And this boy is typical of the happy younger generation which will be ready someday to carry on the good work and keep up the community spirit which makes this town so pleasant a place in which to live.
Childless themselves, Hershey and his wife Catherine created a school for orphan boys in 1909 with an initial class of 10.
There was a little red fox lived in a wood.
Following Catherine's death in 1915, Hershey donated his entire fortune to the school. Milton Hershey died in 1945 at the age of 88. But his chocolates and his town live on today,
Put the barcode number, please. Okay?
as does the Milton Hershey School, currently enrolling about 2,000 boys and girls. And thanks to the generosity of Milton Hershey, not one of those students has to pay a penny for their schooling.
At his workshop just outside Paris, Patrick Roger has been creating chocolate for almost 20 years. Yeah, I know, I love Lucy, but they make about 10 million pieces a year, so this is serious. I mean, each piece goes through 25 steps.
Donc 25 fois, vous avez une raison de faire une petite erreur.
Now, this is the work of Patrick Roger, recognized by the French government as one of the finest craftsmen in his trade. Actually, I hesitate to call it a trade because there's so much passion that goes into his work.
Et souvent, je dis que c'est comme en amour. C'est extraordinaire. Regardez, la chair de poule.
And this is also the work of Patrick Roger. These are made entirely of chocolate. They average almost 200 pounds, and no, they aren't meant to be eaten. Because even though the life cycle of chocolate can be ephemeral, sometimes just a few minutes, these statues, well...
Comme chez mes parents, nous avons des pièces qui ont 23 ans maintenant.
23 years, and yet...
J'ai ni étudié la sculpture ni le chocolat. C'est pas de chance, hein?
It doesn't seem to have held him back. See, every member of his crew is here as an apprentice, hoping to learn the craft from a master. It's exactly how Roger began, except for the fact that, well, this wasn't really what he wanted to do, because as a kid growing up in a small town...
Jusqu'à 18 ans, j'ai mangé que des chocolats qui étaient mauvais, donc j'ai pas mangé de chocolat, et c'est à partir de 18 ans que ça va basculer.
At 18, he came to Paris, and since his father was a baker, young Patrick became an apprentice to a master pastry chef. Except that baking didn't hold much interest for this baker's son.
Je fais de la pâtisserie, mais sans conviction, même si je suis bon, ça va.
So the chef assigned him to create elaborate chocolate centerpieces for A-list parties, and that was the turning point in his life.
Et là, je vais comprendre qu'avec ça, je vais avoir un passeport pour le monde.
Now, remember, this isn't candy. To the French, chocolate is about seduction. So they're willing to pay, well, boxes like these range from about $30 to almost $150. Even individual pieces average out to about $2 a piece. And, oh yeah, you can see some of his statues in any of his 9 boutiques around Paris and Belgium. He draws inspiration for flavors in a garden behind his workshop. Like this. This is citronella.
C'est l'orgasme.
I don't know if I go that far, but anyway, chocolate's history probably goes back almost 4,000 years. And when it was brought to Europe in the 17th century, it was thought to have medicinal, even nutritional value. Maybe. But it was also considered an aphrodisiac. And that one's probably closer to the truth.
Un étudiant, pour 10 €, il achète un petit sachet. Et avec sa copine, c'est garanti.
Because for the French, chocolate is always a recipe for romance.
Are you afraid for me to taste this?
I think you're gonna love it.
Start spreading the word.
It does take an open mind.
Peanut butter is suddenly hot.
Oh my goodness.
It does have a kick. Traditionally, foods from India, foods from Thailand have a little bit of this kick.
How long is this gonna last?
Let's get to another sandwich.
This is nothing like that bedraggled peanut butter and jelly sandwich you once crammed into your school lunchbox.
It's a spicy peanut butter with grilled chicken and pineapple jam, so it makes like a satay sandwich.
An American classic with a twist of Thai. One of 50 peanut butter-centric offerings at Lee's Albans Peanut Butter and Company in New York City.
I think the American palate is evolving, and I think it's evolving very, very quickly.
His mission, get the lowly peanut out of its shell.
Peanuts and peanut butter have been used in African, Indian, Asian cooking for hundreds of years. As those cultural influences start to develop more in the US, we start to do mashups with our food.
He claims some 3,000 customers sample his nutty combinations every week, like the Elvis, presumably for non-dieters.
We've got peanut butter, bananas, bacon, and we're gonna add a little bit of honey, just to go over the top and add a little bit of extra sweetness.
And then he grills it.
That does make you want to burst into song.
It's a jubilant sandwich.
Not good.
The National Peanut Board, yes, there is such a thing, says the average American kid will eat 1,500 PB&J sandwiches before graduating high school. Peanut butter is an $800 million a year juggernaut. What could possibly slow it down?
Arachibutyrophobia.
Say again?
Arachibutyrophobia.
Tell me what that is.
That is the fear of getting peanut butter stuck to the roof of your mouth.
A fear worth getting over, Zalben says, to open your mind and your mouth to yummy new versions of an old friend.
It's been a while since our last visit with contributor Josh Seftel and his mom. And for good reason. She's had some challenging times. But she's back and on a roll.
I wouldn't mind being on television or the radio.
You know what your chances of that are?
No. However, you never know.
You never know.
Several years ago, after my dad died, I bought my mom an iPad and started FaceTiming with her.
Can you see me?
I can't see. Oh, now I can. We recorded more than 100 conversations.
Hello. Wait.
Several for this show.
There I am.
And she's always brought a fresh perspective to every topic. I want to talk with you about vaping.
I actually think I saw somebody doing it in Mexico.
Yeah.
In the nightclub.
Self-driving cars.
I don't like that.
Even twerking.
What was it called? Turkey or twerking? Is that what it is?
But earlier this summer, we had to put our conversations on hold. After emergency surgery and almost a month in the hospital, with some touch-and-go moments, I'm happy to announce she's back home and up for her first interview in a while.
Can you make me look thin? Hello.
What have you been through in the last 2 months?
I went for heart tests and I flunked them. They had to do a quadruple bypass. I was in shock. I thought I had indigestion. Being 85 years old and going through a big surgery, a lot of stuff could happen.
What role did family play in helping you with your recovery?
Well, probably the biggest. They came from all over. Somebody always being there with me. Beautiful flowers or a nice card can do a lot more than a pill to help you get better.
What breakthroughs have you had?
Well, that I can walk again.
How do you like using the cane?
It's not new. Oh, yesterday I put on makeup for the first time. You always look better when you have a little makeup. Cheered me up.
You look much younger.
That would be the day. Oh, today I went to the grocery store and I used one of those carts for the first time. It was fun. I liked it. Very grateful I didn't hurt anybody.
Yesterday I saw you dancing in the pharmacy.
I don't know if you'd call it dancing. There was music on and I was shaking my tush.
What's the best thing you bought at the grocery store?
Eclairs. Eclairs?
When are you going to eat them?
As soon as possible. I'm getting better, guys.
What have you learned from this experience?
Just to appreciate everything and stop taking everything for granted. Be positive, think positive in whatever it is that you're going through.
So there's something I wanted to show you. Hey, ready?
Yeah?
Hi, Pat. This is from everybody.
Oh, my goodness.
We're just checking up on you and want to remind you that we're pulling for your quick recovery. Pretty soon it's going to be time for another chat with Josh, so you need to get better because we're all waiting to hear from you once again.
What do you think?
That's so nice. Makes you feel like you really want to get better fast. You made my day. Oh, my God, I can't believe it.
Do you want to see it again?
Sure. I'll probably listen to it all day.
Sure, the costumes are fun, but when you get right down to it, Halloween is really about the candy. If you have any doubts, just try taking candy from a child. Or take in this story from Luke Burbank.
We ate all your Halloween candy.
Okay, this is just a Halloween prank on the Jimmy Kimmel Show. But if you're one of those parents who likes to dip into your kid's Halloween stash, chances are that candy was made in Oak Park, Illinois, at the Mars Wrigley Candy Factory.
Actually, candy is pretty healthy for you, believe it or not.
Really? Wayne Pesavant is clearly not a doctor, but he is the fourth generation of his family to work here at this Mars factory, which is about to turn 90 years old.
28 years of service, and you look back at what you did. I didn't expect you to probably be here that long, but I am here, and I enjoyed everything that goes on. I mean, if you think about the 5 principles of Mars.
I don't want to put you on the spot, but what are the 5 principles? Are you able to?
Quality, mutuality, responsibility, freedom.
Brush your teeth.
No.
I'm pretty sure that's the 5th one.
Efficiency.
Principles set down by Franklin C. Mars, the company's founder. It all started back in 1911 with Mars selling hand-dipped chocolates made in his kitchen in Tacoma, Washington. But the business didn't boom until 1923, when Mars invented the Milky Way bar. Then came Snickers and M&Ms, and the rest, as they say, is candy history.
Best chocolate candies under the sun.
More than a century later, the company is still owned entirely by the Mars family, who are as notoriously secretive as they are successful. Mars is one of the largest privately held companies in the world, with a reported $35 billion in sales each year.
Put this over your hair and do your best to cover your ears as well.
Okay. Is that for ear hair?
You never know.
After an intensive suiting up process, I'm ready to stop talking about candy and start seeing it up close and personal, which is where Amy Vedmore, the factory's site director, comes in.
Now, I also understand that this is really kind of Halloween central.
Yes. So we make about 99% of the Snickers fun size. We make Milky Way and Three Musketeers fun size as well.
In all, millions of tiny candy bars come out of this facility each day, as well as some regular size ones, which, after being made, need to be packed and shipped. And I was ready to help.
Is it going faster?
Yeah.
Yikes.
Of course, how you package the chocolate doesn't mean much if it doesn't taste right.
So my name is Lindsay Garfield, and my job is the Principal Sensory Technologist.
In other words, her job is to eat candy.
We say the perfect Snickers is the same Snickers that the first Snickers tasted like.
That Mr. Mars presumably invented.
The perfect Snickers.
And does anyone know what that one tasted like?
It tastes just like the Snickers today.
Are you a robot?
Clearly, I'm not great at packing the candy. But tasting it, I figured anybody could do that.
Okay, so we're tasting this cocoa butter because it's one of the building blocks of a Milky Way, essentially, right?
Yeah, so with cocoa butter, you're gonna wanna slurp it. So pretend like you're the rudest person in the world.
Not hard for me.
Okay. Chocolate should be your #1 thing you should get. And then just that oily mouthfeel.
Okay, I'm getting both of those things.
Okay, good.
So this was a success.
This was a success.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Okay, that was fun. And yet it's possible that no one has more fun at this factory than Willa Mae Brown.
I'm proud of what I do. I love making candy.
And when she's not making it, she's giving it away.
How much does each person get or each kid get?
Oh, they get a lot.
Really?
Yeah, we give them gongs of candy.
Known as the Queen of Halloween, Brown volunteers to organize the annual Halloween event, which draws thousands of candy lovers to the factory each year.
Now, is there an age cutoff for this? Like, do you have to be a kid?
No.
Would you say it's more kids or adults?
More adults, believe it or not.
Oh, we can believe it.
I wanted to try
it. Go get a job.
With Valentine's Day just 3 days away, candy store owners are dreaming of sweet success, including the celebrity confectioner our Alina Cho has dropped in on.
You eat at least one piece of candy every day.
That's an understatement.
It's all part of the job. Dylan Lauren is founder and CEO of Dylan's Candy Bar. Her New York flagship, 3 floors and 15,000 square feet, is said to be the largest candy store in the world, with the largest selection.
7,000 candies, but we rotate them. So we rotate every holiday, every special occasion.
It's one of New York's most popular tourist destinations.
This is your nostalgia area.
Yes, people love seeing what they grew up with.
She says the store attracts more than 2 million visitors a year.
Oprah, when she came, I mean, the whole store was buzzing about that for weeks.
Downstairs, there's a whole wall of celebrity favorites.
Madonna, she loves Red Hots.
And Bill Clinton likes?
He likes Payday.
Payday.
This all began at her 6th birthday party.
Come with me, and you'll be.
When her parents played the classic movie Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory for Dylan and her friends.
I love that movie, and I probably watched it 100 times since.
I want an everlasting gobstopper. Me too!
The idea of wanting to live in this magical candy land is something I wanted to bring to life.
But how to do it required some help. And who better to turn to than her father, fashion legend Ralph Lauren.
At what point did you realize what your father did?
I never really thought about, them being, world famous. A lot of people come up to me still. So I have this shirt with a stain on it. Can I get another one?
Speaking of shirts.
As a kid, seriously, I think seeing my dad have these jars of fabric and swatches to design his shirts, I wanted to eat the fabric because I thought it looked like candy. It was so beautiful.
What did your father teach you in terms of how to approach business?
What I love is that my dad has very much stuck to his gut and stuck to his guns, and I believe that it's really important to follow your gut and also to not be a follower. My dad is a trendsetter. I see competitors popping up, but he's always been like, don't look at them. It's like if you watch them, it's going to slow you down. Like, go your path, but don't be threatened by it.
Good advice. Dylan's Candy Bar just celebrated its sweet 16th birthday, with 16 locations nationwide and plans to open soon in Dubai and Japan.
They're just looking at it one more time.
Dylan Lauren is more than just the face of the brand. She's a working executive who pays attention to the tiniest of details.
This is excellent.
At this staff meeting, the subject is marketing a new line of healthier candies.
Because everything else is so colorful, I want people to understand it's vegan, it's gluten-free, nut-free, allergen-free.
Her high-end candy empire includes not just sweets, but collaborations with companies that make clothing, bedding, baby strollers. She even makes candy for Saturday Night Live.
I think there will be some people who will watch this and say, Dylan Lauren, daughter of Ralph Lauren, why didn't she just work for her dad? Or, frankly, why work at all?
Right.
You didn't have to do any of this.
Yeah, sometimes I think that when it's stressful and I'm traveling and I go from one country to the next and, I just want to sit and relax. But I've always been driven.
Lauren has her own family now. Married to financier Paul Arroway, the couple has young twins, appropriately named Cooper Blue and Kingsley Rainbow. She recently won the candy equivalent of an Oscar. She's been on dozens of magazine covers, but she says it's the Dylan Lauren Barbie doll she's most proud of.
I actually kind of wish I looked exactly like her.
Dylan Lauren says she has big plans for her business, guided by her father and inspired by the vision of Walt Disney.
Could there be a candy hotel?
You are onto something. Like Disney, I hope to open a candy theme park, maybe a candy hotel. So trust me, you're not far.
What is not to like here?
Absolutely.
Executive Chef Gerard Tice at Boston's Omni Parker House Hotel makes life in the kitchen look easy as pie, specifically Boston cream pie. Essentially, we're talking butter, chocolate, cream, sugar. What could possibly go wrong with that?
Nothing. It's a wonderful dessert.
Wonderful, yes.
Isn't it good?
And completely misnamed. It isn't a pie at all.
No, it's a cake.
So where did that come from?
Because it was originally baked in pie shells.
2 pie shells, actually, for 2 yellow sponge cakes, held together with thick pastry cream, covered in chocolate, and coated with almonds.
We actually became the state dessert in 1996.
Yeah, we are, folks.
Oh, congratulations.
Yes, absolutely.
Who knew? You heard right. Boston cream pie is the official state dessert of Massachusetts. Boston seems to have an ability to claim things that people like. Boston baked beans, Boston terriers, Boston cream pie. What is it about this particular dessert that you think appeals to people around here?
It's simple flavors that just bring you back to your childhood, really.
It's been made more or less the same way since it was invented well over a century ago at this very hotel, whose kitchen, the chef notes, has had some famous and unlikely employees.
Malcolm X was a busboy here.
This is hard to believe.
Ho Chi Minh worked in the bake shop.
So Ho Chi Minh conceivably could have baked
Yes.
a Boston cream pie, and Malcolm X presumably could have cleaned up.
Yes.
I happen to have a plate.
And I happen to have your Boston cream pie.
Okay. The proof is in the pudding.
That's good.
Or in this case, the pie.
I have to keep eating it just to make sure it's still good.
Of course.
Yeah.
I'd say about 80% of the people that order dessert order Boston cream pie.
Little cash cow. As the chef and the entire state of Massachusetts will tell you, it's worth every calorie-laden penny. What comes to mind immediately when I say Boston cream pie?
Creamy, silky, smooth, chocolatey. Heaven.
Not to overstate it.
No.
Heaven.
Heaven.